Hello and welcome to my very first tutorial on Blitz Basic for absolute beginners. You can go to blitzbasic.com and download an evaluation version of Blitz Plus. There are also several others, Monkey, which is for mobile platforms, Blitz 3D and Blitz Max, which I won't be going into, and Blitz 2D, which is no longer in production. I will be using Blitz 2D for this tutorial for the purpose of simplicity. There are a few extra commands that you have to know for Blitz Plus, but as you will see, and I will explain as I go through the differences between the two. Okay, let's get started. Okay, once you've downloaded and installed Blitz Plus or Blitz 2D, if you have that, click on the Blitz Basic on the Start menu, and you will be greeted with a help screen. Okay, there's a command reference here explaining all the commands as we go up and down, or also the scan codes here. Okay, so to start, click on File, New, click on New. Okay, first thing we're going to do is put in a command. Graphics. Notice the graphics command actually changes color because it's a command, and commands automatically change color as you type them in, as do variables and other things to signify what they are. So we're going for a 640 by 480 pixel screen, 16-bit color, and a window which is 2. If I put in 1, I would have got full screen. If I put in 3, that would give me a resizable window. If I put in 0, it would set to the default options. That is the same as putting just removing it altogether. Okay, but for this tutorial we're going to be using a window. Okay, so now if we click on the rocket or press F5 to run, it will invite us to save it. We don't want to save it, and we run it. Okay, so that's it's given us a runtime message. So this is our window, and it starts at 0 X and goes across all the way to 640 pixels across. That's the x-axis, and it goes from 0 all the way down to y equals 480 for the y-axis. Thing to note here, in mathematics, it's the y-axis is the other way round. Okay, so the largest pixel will be over here, 640 480. To get out of this, just click OK, and we're back into the IDE, or Integrated Development Environment. Okay, don't worry about this box here. Let's put this to the side for the moment. Okay, so let's give it another command. Print hello world. Okay, so all this is going to do is print, and you can see it's changed the color because it's recognized it as a string. So this will print hello world to the screen with the inverted commas. So let's run that. No, we don't want to save it. Okay, and there you can see hello world. Okay, and click OK. Program has ended. Okay, so if I don't want that at the end of each program, I can type in end. Now it will go through this very fast. I'll just demonstrate by running the program. Boom, it's gone. We didn't even see it on the screen. That's because it ran through too fast. Okay, so I'm going to put in another command here called wait key. Okay, run it again. Don't want to save it, and there's our hello world. Okay, close it. Now to get rid of the error message, or the prompt inviting you to save it, rather, click on Save As, and I'll call this hello 1, and I'll save it to the desktop. So now when I run the program, I no longer get the prompt to save it, and I no longer get a runtime message, and I just click across. Okay, so that's our very first program. Okay, so we're not, I can put some variables in there as well. X equals 0 and 240, and sorry, y equals 240. Now if I run this program, you might expect hello world to print halfway down the screen, and if we run it, you'll see actually it doesn't. Okay, the reason for this is these are just variables that you have specified. The computer's taken it into its memory, that you haven't specified to use these variables. So locate x, y. Okay, and now if we run it again, you'll see it's halfway down the screen. The point x equals 0 and y equals 240 is exactly where my mouse pointer is. Okay, and then it just continues on from there. I can demonstrate this by putting in 320 halfway across and then running it again, and now it's in the middle of the screen. Okay, but this is 320 across, 240 down, and it's now in the middle. Okay, so if you're using Blitz 2D, that is the command. If you're using Blitz Plus, it's actually specified after the print command like this. Okay, I think that's the syntax. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it is. But if you press F1, it will show you the syntax at the bottom. Obviously, the bit in the square brackets, well, not obviously, but the bit in the square brackets is optional. So, for example, I could put print like that, and it would print a blank line. Okay, so it would appear one line down, or 12 more pixels down. Okay, so just be aware of that difference between Blitz 2D and Blitz Plus. To make sure you have the right syntax, obviously you could press F1 again while you're on that command, and it will give you an example in the description of that. To get back, just click the tab. Okay, so we're not actually going to use any of that. What we're going to do instead is we're going to load an image, and I go, my convention is, as in a lot of programming books, is img_star, because we're going to make a star, so I'm going to call it star. You can call it anything you want. You don't even need the img on the front. It's just so that you can tell the difference between what type of variables and keep track of them, but it's entirely up to you. You can just call it star if you want. Okay, so the command for that is load image, and let's call it my star.bmp. Okay, so if I run this, it's going to give me an error message called illegal memory address, because it can't find my star.bmp because it hasn't been created yet, so it's going to throw you an error. Okay, so before we create the graphic, we also need to draw it to the screen. It's not enough to just load it, you need to draw it as well. So that command is draw image, and we've called it image star. Okay, and we want it at a location that we specified for X and specified for Y. Okay, so let's create our graphic, or our image, and for this I'm just going to load paint, and image, you see I've done it at 10 by 10, so it's quite small, so I need to view, zoom. This is at 800%. The mask color, which means the transparent color for Blitz Basic, is black. Okay, this is like drawing on a piece of glass or something like that. Okay, and we're just going to create our star graphic in here. I'm just going to use the one color, and you'll see why this is in a little while. Okay, So I just do my star in there, and file, save as, and I'm going to save this to the desktop. Okay, same as where my other program is stored. It's important to store it to the same directory. I've put them both on the desktop for now, and I've got to specify the same file name that I used in the program, not the same variable name. So I save that to the desktop. Okay, so this is what I want to save it as. Yeah, not this. This is my variable name. That's the variable I use in the program. But to load it in, I need to use this. Okay, and as I haven't specified the directory, it's going to look for it in the same directory. Okay, so the only other thing to note is if you are using Blitz Plus, is that you need to set the buffer to the back buffer. I'm not going to go into exactly why, but I'm not going to go into exactly why. That's the difference between Blitz Plus and Blitz 2D. We're not actually using any moving images to create this game, so that's why that is. Anyway, we'll save this as stardodger1. stardodger1. Okay, and I'll save that, and then I'll run it. And as you can see, we've got star in the middle of the screen. Now this is the point, as explained earlier, 320, 240. Okay, we want it to print the star exactly in the center of the screen. So we use a simple command called mid handle and image underscore star. Okay, and what that does, instead of grabbing it by the top left hand corner, I'll grab it by the middle of the edge. So you see, as before, it's still the same. 320 by 240 is the same pixel that I've got my cursor on, but it's now handled the graphic from directly in the middle. Okay, so it's exactly precisely in the middle of the screen. Okay, we're just using variables, so I could easily put 0 here and plus 320 there and end up with the same result. Okay, I could quite easily just put 320 here, and or even 0. Let's try 0, and just to prove it is actually the mid handle. See, now you've got half the star on the screen and half the star off the screen, halfway down the screen. Okay, this concludes my very first tutorial for Blitz 2D and Blitz Plus. Okay, thanks for watching. Please comment below. Cheers, bye.